Test. Test 1, 2. Test. Test 1, 2. Test. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Check.
Happy with that.
Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to the Ottawa Summer Tournaments at Wesley Clover Parks 2022. This marks the 7th year of the Ottawa Equestrian Tournaments here at the Parks. We would like to take a moment to honor the Algonquin, Anishinaabe Nation, First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. Ottawa is built on unceded Algonquin Anishinaabe territory. The peoples of the Algonquin Anishinaabe Nation have lived on this territory for millennia. Their culture and presence have nurtured and continue to nurture this land. The City of Ottawa honors the peoples and land of the Algonquin Anishinaabe Nation and honors all First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples and their valuable past and present contributions to this land. My name is Ryan Dickey. I will be joined this afternoon by Tournaments Manager Tracy Howard, who will be also hosting this class with me. Tracy's down in the grounds right now with a special guest. We'll kick it over to Tracy to give us a little preview of what we are to see this afternoon. Tracy?
Thank you so much, Ryan. Welcome back, everybody, to this beautiful grass field here today. I'm joined in the center of the ring at jump number 1 here, slightly towards the in-gate, with Shane Woolley. He is our course designer today for this class. He is a senior Equestrian Canada course designer with his own business, Meadowlands Farm, and he also has an extensive riding history. So Shane, if you could tell us a little bit about this beautiful Hunter Derby, Canadian Hunter Derby Series track that you've set today, that'd be great.
No problem. First of all, I'd like to thank you guys for having me and letting me get the experience of building on such a beautiful ring. The first jump we have is the horse heads over here. It's just a nice inviting vertical. You can come off of the left if you want to have a little bit of a handier approach, or you can give yourself a nice long run approach to number 1 just to get your motor started. Then we have a nice long gallop on down to number 2, which has a high option. The high options are set between 3'9" and 4 foot today. Or you have the low option on the left-hand side. From that point, we're going to be making a nice round right turn to number 3. We have some straw bales over here. It might come up a little quick, so some of the horses are going to want to use their space. If they can come a little tighter, they'll get some nice handy points there. After we land there, we have a nice inside or outside option at the horseware, rolling back on a nice 7 stride across the middle with the red flowers. If they make that inside turn, they have to make sure they keep that inside leg. If they spook off of it, they might have a hard time getting that approach in properly. Once we march down that 7 stride across the middle, we have a right turn. Again, we can go inside of the oxer on the end or just around, just around to the oxer, the red oxer to the right side of the combination. After that, we have a nice long gallop on down to the beige natural vertical. Nice opportunity to show a hand gallop, showing your horse's rideability. From there, you can go just inside of number 3 or outside number 3 to our 2 stride. Again, we have a high option on the right-hand side or a low option on the left. With another handy option on landing, you can go inside of the oxer or outside. I'm trying to give the horses and riders a lot of different options to get the handy points within their derby. And then after we go inside or outside that oxer, we're just rolling back on the little brown oxer. And the horses can come down and choose between the high and low options at fence 11 and 12. So the left side are the high options. We got a nice, beautiful jump that Wesley Clover provided us with some nice barrels to finish off the course. Or on the right-hand side, we have a slightly smaller option if you want to play it safe.
Thank you so much, Shane, for sharing your concepts here today of what you built for us on this field. Beautiful use of the field, beautiful use of the material. Here at Wesley Clover Parks, our team takes great pride in the jump equipment and jump material. This particular class we are quite fond of, and we go to a great effort to make sure it's properly decorated. We also want to thank Evie Frisk, course decorator extraordinaire, and Mr. Levko Molina, who helped extensively with the creation and the color coordination, along with head painter Sean McCloskey. Thanks to the whole team for the build. We'll head out of the ring, and thank you again, Shane, for all your work.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Shane. As Tracy mentioned, it does take quite a few individuals to build a course like this. We did have a jumper course in here earlier today. We had to switch everything out, bring in a whole lot of new material to create this beautiful Hunter Derby course. And then tomorrow morning, we're back with jumpers. So it all comes out, and we bring back the old stuff. So it's quite the effort here put forth by our jump crew and course designers, our flower crew here. It does take the whole team here at Wesley Clover Parks to get this looking the way it does. So a big thank you to all those involved. Our class sponsor for this Hunter Derby is Poomies, and we extend a very big thank you to Poomies for being here with us once again. Poomies Cider is crafted from the juice of 100% Ontario apples and pears in the hills of Caledon. Home to Poomies Original and Poomies Farmhouse, as well as their seasonal Poomies Cranberry, Poomies Sangria, and new Poomies Mimosa. Poomies Cider Company is independent, family-owned, and family-operated. All of their ciders are gluten-free, GMO-free, vegan, and never made with concentrate or artificial flavors or colors. Again, a big thank you to our sponsor. Un gros merci à notre commanditaire, Poomies Cider. We'd also like to thank Equestrian Digital for their partnership in presenting this week's live stream coverage, including this afternoon's 2 Derby classes. Equestrian Digital helps to simplify, manage, and communicate everything at the Ottawa Summer Tournaments for our reviewers tuning in from home. Stay better informed with a streamlined experience from Equestrian Digital. We're just about 5 minutes away here from our first horse and rider combination. 30 entries to see here in our first of 2 derbies this afternoon. Again, we will start at a height of 3'6". So we have 9 entries here at the 3'6" height to get us started. Once those 9 have been through the course and completed, we will then lower the fence heights from 3'6" to 3 foot for the remaining 21 entries in this Poomies $10,000 Hunter Derby, a CHDS Hunter Derby. This high-performance hunter class presents competitors an opportunity to best showcase the talents of horse and rider over a challenging course with a high-performance, handy, and take-your-own-line options. The class combines a hunter classic with a handy hunter class in a one-round format. The Hunter Derby provides an opportunity for hunter riders to take center stage in a Grand Prix environment and showcase the high-performance capabilities of horse and rider through challenging courses that demand athleticism and boldness, natural and interesting jumps with greater variation in construction, and judging that rewards handiness and brilliance while still emphasizing jumping style, manners, way of going, and smoothness, styles, manners, way of going. So we ask, please, that you clear the ring here. We are just about 2 minutes to go here before we get started here, so we ask that you please clear the ring.
horse. Kennedy is in first. Manuel. Dominic third. Isabel fourth. Colleen fifth. Avery sixth. Olivia seventh. Kelly eighth. Kennedy nine. That is the last of the field. All right, Ryan. Well, we're waiting for this, the first horse on course. Let's talk a little bit about how what we have is a traditional hunter type scoring system. Out of 100, they get a hunter score out of 100, and then we have score for handy options and a score for the use of the high options. So there's going to be a total score there of the three combined. That will be announced, come from our judges box, and be announced here at this end. Pretty exciting day. The field looks beautiful. We're just about ready to go.
So we're just waiting for our first entry to make their way down the hill here. They do their warm-ups behind our tent up here on the berm, so you can't quite see them, but that's where they get things prepared before they go in to the ring. Again, we have 30 to see here in this Poomies $10,000 Hunter Derby. And again, we start at the 3'6" height, 9 to see at that height before we lower the fences or rails to a height of 3 foot. And then we'll see the rest of the class.
This section, the 3'6" section with high options of 3'9" to 4'3", goes to the finals at the prestigious Royal Winter Fair in Toronto in November. So this group here that you're going to see, they're the ones that have that opportunity to ride off in the beautiful indoor arena at the Royal Winter Fair.
So just one round here when it comes to the hunters. For those of you who might be a little more familiar with jumpers, they don't come back for a second round here. It is strictly a judging format here. And as Tracy mentioned, they're judged on performance, judged on their handiness, and on high options. And that's when you look out into the fields and you'll see some of the jumps are what you might call mirrored or doubled up. So those are the options there. One fence would be higher than the other, and they'll get more points if they go the more difficult route. Our first horse and rider are at the gate, just getting their final instructions from their team and trainers. First of 9 to see at our higher height of 3'6". Here's our first entry, number 622. Voici maintenant le premier parcours, le numéro 622, Night Air, propriété de owned by Leanne Rose, and the rider monté par Kennedy Ballard.
The two old guys are out. What? The two old guys are out.
And so for the score for Night Air and Kennedy Ballard, 42 points for performance 6 handy score and a high option score of 6 for a total score of 54. Pointage de 54. Next in the ring, number 234, le numéro 234. This is Jackpot, the owner propriété de Catherine Fortin and the rider monté par Manu Geoffroy. Performance score of 77, a handy score of 8, and a high option score of 8 for a total of 93. Un pointage de 93 for Jackpot and Manu Cheffroy.
So, Ryan, while waiting for the next one, I just want to thank Horseware. We see these beautiful Horseware coolers that we're giving out to the champions. Thank you to Horseware for providing those coolers for Ottawa Summer Tournaments and all of our gold shows this season.
En piste maintenant le numéro 618, number 618, Rio Time. Une propriété de est montée par, owned and ridden by Dominique Gérard Boulay. A performance score of 55, a handy score of 4, and a high option score of 10 for a total of 69. Un pointage de polyvalence de 4. Un pointage d'option de 10 et un pointage de performance de 55 pour un total de 69.
Next competitor in the ring is entry number 381, 381. This is Carrera S and Isabelle Lapierre. Hometown is Lévis. She's the two-time Derby Hunter national champion, and Carrera was the national champion in 2018.
Bedard, Ray Butterfield, Christine Wiggins, Fanny Cartier, Jenna Page, Christine DeJordy, Taylor Brooks, and Kathy Inch.
The score there for Carrera S and Isabelle Lapierre, 45 for performance, 8 for handy, and 10 for high option, a total score of 63. Our next competitor is number 163, le numéro 163. This is Vermont, owned and ridden by Colleen Loach. That's a performance score of 75, a handy score of 10, and a high option score of 10 for a total of 95 for Colleen Loach aboard Vermont.
Joining us now, we have entry number 652, 652. This is California, the entry of Victoria McDonald, and ridden by Ainsley Vince.
We have Olivia next, Kelly Robinson in 1, Kennedy in 2. That is the end of my 3'6". First of the 3 foots is Isabel and Isabel, Maude, Ray, Chris, Fanny, Jenna, Christine, Taylor, and Kathy Ann.
And for California and Ainsley Vince, a performance score of 46, a handy score of 10, and a high option score of 10 for a total score of 66.
Kelly at the gate, Kennedy back in 1. Then we
Joining us next, we have entry number 686, 686. This is Chatsworth,
Fanny, Jenna,
ridden by Olivia Gronewagen, hometown Elginburg, Ontario. Well, we have a new leader, Ryan.
With a total score of 102 for Chatsworth and Olivia Groenewegen, 84 performance, 8 handy, and 10 high option puts them to the top of our list here. Our next competitor is number 736. Voici maintenant le numéro 736, Buckingham. The owner, propriété de Ecuestre Burns, and the rider monté par Kelly Robinson.
I have Jose next in the ring, Kennedy Ballard, to complete the 3'6".
And just like that, we have a new leader with a score of 106 for Kelly Robinson and Buckingham, 88 a performance score, 8 handy, and 10 high option. So just like that, 2 lead changes from our last 2 riders. 1 left to see here at this 3'6" height before we adjust the rails fence heights down to 3 foot.
Last 3'6" horse ready to step in the ring. Now there's a 10, about approximately 10-minute change to go to the 3 foot. And that will be Isabel, Maude, Ray, Chris Wiggins, Fanny, Jenna, Christine, Taylor, and Kathy Inch.
Joining us now, we have the last 3'6" horse. This is entry number 627, 627. Lawrence on. We have a special trophy here today. We're going to present to this Poomies Cider Hunter Derby the Gladys Adam Memorial Trophy. This was established in 2014 to commemorate the life of JC Hall of Fame member Gladys Adam, whose passion for the sport and discipline of horsemanship will never be forgotten. Today, this very special trophy will be presented by the Oswald family.
So the team puts the final touches here on our course before we're moving into the 3-foot section of this Poomies Cider $10,000 Hunter Derby. We've seen 9 of 30 here. Our top score right now is 106. 106 came from Buckingham and Kelly Robinson. So the next crew that comes in here, that's the score they're looking to beat. Our cutoff score currently is 54. So when we say that, we mean ribbons go to 8. So any score that doesn't get into that top 8 is therefore considered under the score or under the cut. We do not announce that score. Right now, the low score is 54, high score 106. Just a few minutes here, and we'll be ready to go with our first rider of 21 at the 3-foot height.
Unlike the sport of show jumping, this is a much more artistic, fluid type of event. Judge is looking for smoothness, style, way of going, athleticism, and technique. As Mr. Shane Woolley puts the finishing touches on the course, going down to our 3-foot section with 3-foot 3 high options. We have 5 high options out here today, just to explain a little bit. Jumping a little bit bigger and receiving some bonus points for that. Handy score is based on the horse's agility to get to the next jump in a more efficient and shorter route. So that gives you an idea about why we have some of these jumps out here today that are side by side, 1 or 2 being bigger than the other one. They get bonus points for jumping those.
That's right, and that's where that score of 10 comes from when we say 10 high option score. Possibility of 10 points there. So there are 5 jumps out there that are considered lower high option jumps, 2 points each if you were to take that successfully. and a max score of 10. So again, that's why we come up with a total score of 120 for here, which might sound a little odd. But you get 100 points for a performance. You're judged out of 100. 10 for that high option we just spoke of, and 10 for the handy score that Tracy mentioned earlier. So the highest possible score you could get here would be 120.
Just ensuring the accuracy of the heights of the jumps here, making sure that everything is within specs. We're just about ready to get going, just doing some double checking here. Operations manager out on the field, Mr. Duncan Oswald. Big thank you to Duncan for all his work leading up to these 2 weeks and always following. And show manager, Mr. Mike Lawrence. Thank you to Mike and the entire team for helping to pull together these events.
So not only do they adjust the height of the fence, but because they've lowered it, they'll now bring the spread of those standards closer together as well. So not something that you might think of when you see that, but as the heights go up, the spread for those standards becomes wider, adding a little bit more of a challenge. Also makes it a little bit easier to ride. Because we're lowering them down to 3 feet, those standards come in too. So that's just what those guys are doing out there right now. Just about underway here.
Big shout out to our equipment sponsors and providers, Kubota and Top Line Trailer and Equipment from Winchester. Thank you to Mr. Scott Wiegand and family for supporting us from the beginning. 8 years of support now. Thank you to both Kubota and Top Line Trailer and Equipment for supplying all of our equipment for these shows.
So we're ready to go here with the 3-foot section of our Poomies Cider $10,000 Hunter Derby. First of 21 entries to see here. Again, the score to beat right now, 106 at the top of our list. 8 ribbons will be presented here upon completion of this class. And there they are now. This is number 631. Voici maintenant le numéro 631. This is Rêve de Nabab Idéal. Propriété de, owned by Isabelle Veilleux. and the rider monté par Manu Geoffroy. It's a score of 79 for performance, 2 for handy, and 10 in the high option. A total score of 91 for Rêve de Nabab Ideal and Manu Geoffroy. Un pointage de 79. Un pointage de polyvalence de 2 et un pointage d'option de 10 pour un total de 91.
Joining us now is entry number 379, Google, owned by Sabrina Villeneuve and ridden by Isabelle Lapierre.
Christine in 5, Taylor in 6, Kathy in 7, Emmanuel in 8, Lucy in 9, Lauren Hayes in 10. Mode at the ring. Ray in 1, Chris in 2, Fanny in 3, Jenna in 4, Christine in
A score of 74 for performance, 6 for handy, and a high option score of 10 for a total of 90. Un pointage de 90 pour Google et Isabelle Lapierre. Et maintenant, dans le manège Grand Prix, le numéro 134, number 134, Paragon. Owned by Dean Baker and ridden by, monté par Maude Boulanger-Bouchard.
Debit's still working. So, Ray's on deck. Christine is in 1. Fanny in 2. Jenna 3. Christine DeJordy is in 4. Taylor in 5. Kathy H in 6. Manuel in 7. Lucy in 8. Lauren A 9. Michelle Gauthier.
Performance score of 86, a handy score of 8, and a high option score of 10. A total score of 104 for Paragon and Maude Boulanger-Bouchard from pointage de 104.
Joining us now is entry number 586. 586. This is Ecuestre. Owned by Willa Goche and ridden by Raymond Butterfield.
I have Chris Wiggins at the gate. I have Fanny in 1, Jenna in 2, Christine DeJordy in 3, Taylor Brooks 4, Kathy Lynch 5, Emmanuel 6, Lucy 7, Lauren Hayes 8, Michelle Gauthier 9, Tatum 10.
A performance score of 76, a handy score of 6, and a high option score of 4 for a total score of 86 for Icasal and Raymond Butterfield.
I have Fanny at the gate.
525 joins us now. This is Christine Wiggins riding for Julie Wilson on Cannon D.
Lucy in 6, Lauren in 7, Michelle Gauthier in 8, Tatum in 9, and Avery Lee Richard.
That's a performance score of 70, a handy score of 4, and a high option score of 10, for a total score of 84 for Cannon D and Christine Wiggins.
Joining us now, we have entry number 644, 644. This is Cryptico. Cryptico is owned by Livia Salucci and ridden by Fanny Gervais Cartier.
And that score is under the cutoff. Our next horse and rider combination here in the Poomies Cider $10,000 Hunter Derby is number 588. Voici maintenant le numéro 588, Baloo. The owner is Jenna Page and the rider is Jennifer Smith. A performance score of 28, a handy score of 8, and a high option score of 10 for a total of 96 for Baloo and Jennifer Smith.
Heading into the grass field now, we have entry number 200, 200. This is Casino Z. This is the entry of Michelle Sharp and ridden by Christine DeJordy.
Taylor Brooks at the in-gate, Kathy Itchy 1, Manuel at 2, Tyson 3, Lauren Hayes at 4, Michelle Gauthier at 5, Tatum at 6, Avery at 7, Philippe in 8, Tice back in 9, Kelly in 10, Emily Lalonde in 11, Paige 12 to finish. Dragging and setting for the open meter in the all-weather ring.
A performance score of 74, a handy score of 5, and a high option score of 10 for a total score of 89 for Casino Z and Christine DeJordy.
Three, 6, 8 joins us now. This is 368, Sam I Am. Taylor Brooks rides for Miguel Sanchez.
Tyson 2, Lauren Hayes in 3, Michelle Gauthier in 4, Tatum in 5, Avery in 6, Philippe in 7, Tice back in 8, Kelly Robinson 9, Emily Lalonde in 10, and Paige in 11 to finish the class.
A performance score of 80.5, a handy score of 6, and a high option score of 10 for a total score 96.5 for Sam I Am and Taylor Brooks.
Entry number 303 is next. This is 303, Bentley. Bentley is the entry of Melissa Manwaring and ridden by Catherine Inch.
I have Emmanuel on deck, Tyson 1, Lauren Hayes in 2, Michelle in 3, Tatum in 4, Avery 5, Philippe 6, Tyson 7, Kelly in 8, Emily 9, and Paige back in Paige in 10 to finish. 10 horses left in the $10,000 Hunter Derby. Our current cutoff to ride in is a 91.
Performance score of 65, a handy score of 6, and a high option score of 10. A total score of 81. On piste maintenant le numéro 233, number 233, Athos Venet Polenzi, propriété de, owned by Louis Vaillancourt and ridden by monté par Manu Geoffroy.
Kelly in 7, Emily in 8, Paige in 9.
A performance score of 76, a handy score of 6, and a high option score of 10. Total score 92, un pointage de 92.
I have Lauren on deck. Michelle
725 joins us now, 725. This is Iago K, the entry of Heather Galley, ridden by Tice Clowers.
The ribbon is 90 to ride, which is a top 8 is 92. We'll need the top 8 to ride. So you have a 92 and above. At this moment, you will be doing the riding 550.
A performance score of 77.5, a handy score of 8, and a option score of 10. A total score of 95.5 for Iago K and Tice Clowers. Our next participant is number 286. Voici maintenant le numéro 286, VDL Ironic, owned by Wim Jansen and ridden today by Lauren Hayes.
Meters have started in the all-weather ring, open meters. I've got Michelle on deck, Tatum in 1, Avery in 2, Philippe in 3, Tice back in 4, Kelly Robinson in 5, Emily Lalonde in 6, Paige in 7.
For 286, VDL Ironic and Lauren Hayes, the score is under the cut off score with 88 points.
Entering our grass ring now is entry number 221, 221, a Whammy OBF. This is the entry of Laura Gobet, ridden by Michelle Gauthier.
I have Tatum on deck, Avery in 1, Philippe in 2, Tyson 3, Kelly in 4, Emily in 5, Paige is 6. The riding cutoff is 93.
Unfortunately, no score today for 221.
We can have Tatum at the in gate, Avery in 1, Philippe in 2. Got Avery on deck, Philippe in 1, Tyson 2, Kelly in 3, Emily in 4, Paige
Joining
in
us
5.
next, we have entry number 653. Ça, c'est 653, Cassidor du Corveau, owned and ridden by Tatum Horan.
And that score comes under the cut line for Casidor di Corvo and Tatum Horan.
I have Philippe on deck, Tyson 1, Kelly in 2, Emily in 3, Paige in 4.
This is number 308, le numéro 308, Nikanen. Owner and rider Avery May Pritchard. And that score comes under the cut line.
.347 joins us now, 347, State of Mind, owned by Rosalie Joutra and ridden by Philippe Lacasse.
Paige and Kelly.
And the score for State of Mind and Philippe Lacasse is under the cutoff.
Christian Bay joins us now. This is entry number 727, 727. This is the entry of Lucy McNamee. Tice Clowers in the irons.
I have Emily at the gate, Paige in 1, Kelly in 2. Hey everyone, your top 8 currently to ride in for ribbon will be 736, 134, 686, 368, 588, 725, 163, 234. That's your top 8 riding for ribbons as it currently stands with 2 to go, 3 to go.
And the score for Christian Bay and Tice Clowers falls under the cutoff.
I have Paige at the gate and Kelly in 1 to finish the class.
En piste maintenant, le numéro 673, number 673, King Bee. La propriété de est montée par, owned and ridden by Emily Lalonde.
stage of the in-gate carry in one.
A performance score of 79.5, a handy score of 4, and an option score of 10 for a total score of 93.5 for King B and Emily Lalonde, un pointage de 93.5. First of 2 trips remaining here in our Poomies Cider $10,000 Hunter Derby. Number 658, le numéro 658, Maximus TMF, and Paige Watkinson, owner and rider. And the score for Maximus TMF and Paige Watkinson is below the cutoff. Here's our final trip now in the Poomies Cider $10,000 Hunter Derby. Number 555. Voici maintenant le dernier parcours. Le numéro 555, Hicorino. The owner, propriété de Kira Welts, and the rider, monté par Kelly Robinson. So we'll have results coming up here shortly for our Poomies Cider $10,000 Hunter Derby. Just going to let all of those riders we'll have coming into the ring here shortly, the top 8 to ride for ribbons. So they're just getting themselves prepared before they come back in. A very successful Hunter Derby class this afternoon put on by Shane Woolley and crew. A big thank you to them again.
Well, I always love just riding in this field in general, anytime, especially the Hunter Derbies on this field. It is definitely the most exciting ring to Hunter Derby in. And obviously, I'm always very happy to win in Ottawa, my hometown, have all my people here cheering for me. Anyways, it's a wonderful, wonderful place to be.
Thanks so much, Kelly. We always appreciate you speaking. So congratulations. Follow Mr. Mike Lawrence there. He'll get you set up for your photo. And Ryan, over to you.
Thanks, Tracy, and congratulations again to Kelly and Buckingham. Beautiful red cooler on Buckingham there to signify the winners of this class with a grand total score of 106. We're just headed over now to our presentation table.
No, congratulations, Bob.
And there they meet Executive Director of Wesley Clovers Park, Karen Sparks. Presents them with their red ribbon. One of the many perks of being a winner here at Wesley Clover Parks. Joining Karen at the presentation table are two very special guests. Our two special guests over there with Karen today are Heather and Aaron Oswald, and they are presenting a very special award here, the Gladys Adam Memorial Trophy. The Gladys Adam Memorial Trophy was established in 2014 to commemorate the life of JC Hall of Fame member Gladys Adam, whose passion for the sport and discipline of horsemanship will never be forgotten. This trophy is presented proudly by the Oswald family. Big thanks to Aaron and Heather, who are competing here this week at the Ottawa Summer Tournaments with Dunelm Farm. Moving on to the rest of our finishers here in the Hunter Derby. In second place, en deuxième, number 134, Paragon and Maud Boulanger-Bouchard. A grand total of 104 this afternoon, not far behind our winners. En troisième, in third, Number 686, le numéro 686, Olivia Groenewegen, and a score of 102. Very tight finish among the top three participants here, just 4 points separating the three top rider and horse combinations. In fourth, en quatrième, number 368, Taylor Brooks and Sam I Am. In fifth place, en cinquième, number 588, le numéro 588, Jennifer Smith and Baloo. In sixth place, en sixième, number 725, le numéro 725, Tice Clowers and Diago K. In seventh position, en septième, number 163, le numéro 163, Colleen Loach and Vermont. In eighth place, en huitième, number 673. Number 673 was Emily Lalonde aboard King Bee. Finishing in ninth and 10th and receiving ribbons, but receiving them outside the ring, numbers 234 and 233, both ridden by Manu Geoffroy. He was aboard Jackpot and Athos Venetpolenzi. Congratulations again to all our participants here in today's Poomies Cider $10,000 Hunter Derby. And again, a big thank you to our awards presentation team of Karen Sparks, Mike Lawrence, Heather, and Aaron Oswald. Here we go with our victory gallop. Congratulations again to our winners, Kelly Robinson and Buckingham. Congratulations again to Kelly and Buckingham for a fantastic ride this afternoon, and to all our participants here in the Poomies Cider $10,000 Hunter Derby.
We have a new leader right now.
All of their ciders are gluten-free, GMO-free, vegan, and never made with concentrate or artificial flavors or colors. Another big thank you to our sponsors for the $10,000 Hunter Derby Poomies Cider. Up next in the Grand Prix ring is the $1,000 Canadian Hunter Derby Series Junior Amateur Hunter Derby.